The one mistake that so many YouTubers make is starting their videos completely wrong. You may sometimes wonder why your videos are flopping despite delivering absolutely high quality and great content. The answer to this question is simple. The key element that you need to captivate your audience is mainly a good hook and a good introduction. Statistically speaking, the probability of a viewer watching your video completely until the end increases immensely if they watch it for more than 30 seconds. There is one German YouTuber that is very good at introductions, and that is TomatoLix, with over 1 million subscribers and over 5 million clicks per month. One of the reasons for his success is undoubtedly his good introductions. So I've had a closer look at them and derived 5 tricks and techniques why the introductions of TomatoLix work so incredibly well. I assume he does all of these 5 things intentionally, but of course I can't look into his mind. So TomatoLix, if you're actually watching this, feel free to drop a comment if I'm actually right. One of the most successful methods to arouse the viewer's interest is to tease some content of the video by cutting individual video snippets from the later video right at the beginning. This is also known as a cold open. And it is a technique that is not only used in YouTube videos, but also in television and even in movies. TomatoLix, or Felix as he's actually called, also uses this technique quite often. In his video about ayahuasca, you can see him taking the drug and then vomiting within the first 10 seconds. In his video where he accompanies a porn shoot, you can see him as a cameraman of sad porn shoot in the first few seconds. And it might seem a bit counterintuitive to show our best scenes right at the beginning of the video, because we don't want to give everything away right at the start. But think about it this way: if the viewer turns off instead, they wouldn't even see your best scenes at all. And it even arouses their interest in putting the scene into a context. And for example, learning how the heck Felix ended up shooting a porn. In almost all of his intros, Felix deliberately establishes a personal connection with the viewer by explicitly telling his own private story.
Ich frage mich, wie realistisch so ein Szenario ist und wie man sich in so einer Situation am besten verhält. Ich habe mir gedacht, wenn ich schon mal in Kolumbien bin, dann möchte ich eigentlich auch eine Coca-Plantage besuchen. Ich frage mich schon länger, wie es hinter den Kulissen von so einer Pornoproduktion aussieht.
Especially the pattern "I wondered" automatically triggers the same question in us as the viewers. Now, what does it look like behind the scenes of a porn production? Suddenly, we want to know that as well. And voila, Felix captivated us and we watched the whole video to answer this question.
Also für mich ist das schon ein beängstigender Gedanke, irgendwann bei den einfachsten Dingen auf Hilfe angewiesen zu sein.
But he also speaks very openly about his personal feelings about the topic, such as the fear of eventually being dependent on care. And that makes him more approachable and tangible as a person, because he suddenly becomes part of the story. I mean, what do we care about what some random reporter has to say that we don't even know? But what Felix tells us, we suddenly find interesting. This, of course, also happens indirectly through the first 2 tricks, but Felix almost always has another block in his intros where he puts the content of his video into context.
1/3 des gesamten Internetdatenverkehrs ist pornografischen Ursprungs. Und damit wird jeden Tag über 12 Millionen Euro Umsatz gemacht.
Oh wow, 1/3 of the internet's data traffic. Sure, that makes it a very relevant topic. And suddenly we understand his interest in the topic much better, which in turn increases our interest in the topic. But above all, we get a chunk of basic information about the topic, and we can better understand later content of the video. I have watched many videos by TomatoLix for the research of this video, and I have not found a single one in which TomatoLix does not say the word "therefore" in his intro.
Deswegen.
And after he says the word "therefore", there always follows what I call the content promise, which is a very brief summary of what TomatoLix will do, try, or show in his video. And with that, as viewers, we know exactly what to expect from the video and can make our decision based on that, whether it is worth watching the video until the end. Admittedly, compared to many other YouTubers, Felix uses this technique rather subtly. For many other YouTubers, the first few seconds are a pure firework of sound effects, dramatic music, often paired with fast scene changes, crazy animations, and so on and so forth. Felix is somewhat more subtle, but these elements are still present.
Das hätte ich vor ein paar Wochen auch noch nicht gedacht.
Have you heard the very subtle riser at the beginning of his video about cocaine?
Das hätte ich vor ein paar Wochen auch.
Have you heard it? These sound effects are not there by chance, but deliberately placed to build tension right at the beginning of the video. But how do we keep tension constant throughout the video and tell an overall exciting story? The most well-known YouTuber when it comes to storytelling is definitely Casey Neistat. How he structures his videos and captivates his viewers so much that they can hardly switch off is what I'll show you in this video, which you should definitely watch next.